Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. Paradigm we share today concerns Trump, academic freedom, free speech. Do you remember a few months ago where we had 3 university presidents among Congress, and it was the middle of the Palestinian protests on campus, and they're asked about, a certain comments, sayings about the on these protests that were pretty anti-Semitic, and the president said, "Well, that's about free speech," and all you know what rained down on them. Now, some of you may disagree with this. There's a sense where the presidents were right. The university presidents were correct. They're correct that even anti-Semitism, hateful anti-Semitism, I hate anti-Semitism myself, that is free speech. But here's the thing. No one wanted to hear from those presidents. You know why? Because for years past, these same universities have been restrictive of academic freedom and free speech for political and religious conservatives. There's no doubt about that. There's case after case. I know of one case of a conservative Christian who committed suicide because of the pressures being put on him. I know of other cases where people try to get conservatives fired for the conservatism, not for any performance or any moral failings or anything like that. So no one wanted to hear from them. And I understand that. And honestly, even though I knew that they were right, I didn't want to hear from them either. You see, either you believe in academic freedom or you don't. Believe in free speech or you don't. And if you believe in it, you believe it for everyone. The parameters you would put around people you like are the same you put around people you don't like. The lack parameters you put. So parameters, like I do not violence, no, I'm out. You don't have a right to violence. You don't have the right to restrict people from where they want to go, that sort of stuff. But if you want to say nasty, ugly, racist, anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, anti-black, anti-American, anti-God, anti-whatever, in the United States, the government has no business punishing you. And on university campuses, we have no business punishing you for saying this sort of stuff, especially in an academic setting, especially when it's couching ideas. Not directly, not insult to a person, but couching ideas, we cannot restrict it. Or else we're not engaging in academic freedom. We're not engaging in free speech. Now, I point all this out because many progressives, not all, I have some progressive colleagues who have been number one, who I will get in the foxhole with, fighting the battle for free speech. I'll get in the foxhole with them, fighting battle for free speech, when it's against someone that I agree with. When the person I agree with is infringing on someone else's right, I'll get in the foxhole with them because they have been in the foxhole fighting for free speech for non-progressives. So I'm not saying every single academic, but too many academics, too many administrators were not willing to engage in the fight for free speech when it was not for a progressive cause. And so now to fight for just progressive causes, you're hypocrites. I don't believe you. I'll believe you when you fight for the free speech of non-progressives. Do that, and then I'll believe you. Until then, you're like those university presidents. You fight for free speech when it's convenient, and ignore it when it's not. You fight for academic freedom, which is tied to free speech, when it's convenient, and ignore it when it's not. That does not make you a warrior for either academic freedom or free speech. It is critical to defend free speech beyond the left and the right, and to defend it as a principle. Before we go on, if you enjoy this and you like what you're hearing, and even if you disagree with me, but you like the way I'm presenting it, want to hear more of it, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, just give me a like, give me a comment. Disagree, think I'm being too hard on those presidents. Comment on that as well. I want to try to build this space for us Christians, because I'm a Christian, space for us Christians where we go beyond the left and the right and we talk about issues in nuance and try to understand better. And check out my channel, because that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so what we in academia have to do is engage in solid reforms. If we don't, it will be done for us. And we will not like the reforms that are given to us. There are ways in which we can be intentional about it. For example, we are often hesitant in academia to seek funding from conservative or conservative-leaning institutions. We have no problems doing this from aggressive or progressive-leaning institutions. We must intentionally seek funding for our research from these conservative groups and not dismiss the research that comes out of it any more than we would if it came out from a progressive-leaning institution. We must consider how we can create a pipeline of non-progressives to enter into academia and to encourage that, to value differences of perspective, of opinion, to bring that into there. We must use the words that we use to defend the Palestinian protesters, use that then to defend pro-life protesters. Now, I know I'm pro-life, and it sounds like, well, yeah, of course you're going to say that, but I will defend Palestinian protesters even though that's not my cause. I'll defend pro-choice protesters as long as they're not engaged in violence, because that's what it means to have academic freedom. If you're not willing to go there, then don't say you're for academic freedom. You're for it if you go there for the people you disagree with. We can and should criticize Trump. Some of the things he's doing is indefensible as an academic. Pulling grants, restricting people from coming to study because of their perspective, not because of anything they've done. I mean, if you have real evidence someone's a terrorist, then yeah, I don't want terrorists in my country either. I'm not stupid. But if if they're pro-Hamas, if they're pro-Antifa, if they're pro-whatever, you don't restrict them from coming. You come and debate the ideas. You defeat them in the plane of ideas. Some of the other things they're doing, trying to micromanage departments, and I've been a critic of some of the diversity programs, but trying to get rid of DEI by legislating it out of existence rather than debating it. So we need to fight Trump, but we also need to fight some of the progressives who also intruded on academic freedom and free speech. And when we do that, we'll have legitimacy. Those who fight for both have legitimacy. Those who don't, do not. So some of the people here who fought for free speech when it was conservatives being attacked, but not now with progressives being attacked, are losing their legitimacy as well, just as much as these presidents did. You fight for free speech now, when maybe people that we don't like, and they'll be able to fight it better, was for people that we do like. Well, I hope this gives you something to think about. As a Christian academic, it's something that I struggle with all the time. And perhaps as a Christian academic, I know it's like to be in the minority as a Christian in academia, but also to care about academia and care for the best of academia. And I believe academic freedom and free speech is the best for academia. Well, thank you. And please come back. We can shatter some more paradigms.